Hey guys, I wanted to do a little overview on how to change the alternator belt on the BMW 1200 GS. This is the hex head. There's a lot of threads out there online that talk about how to change the alternator belt with the regular GS but not the GSA. And I was a little bit hesitant to take off the engine guards, so I wanted to make a little video of it. So here we go. So these engine guards come standard on the GSA, and this is the alternator cover. I'm not sure what the technical name for it is, but this is the cover, and the alternator sits in front of this but behind this piece. So I had to take this piece off, but the cross brace that connects this side of the engine bracing or the engine covers to the other side has this bar here, and it's I don't know if it's impossible, but it's very hard to remove this cover without hitting this. And to complicate matters, it's also an O-lens fork was installed by the previous owner, and supposedly the O-lens fork is a little bit longer than stock. So even if you could get this bar out of the way, it's a little bit harder with it hits here. I'm not sure if you can see here, but the plastic here is wider at the top, so it'll hit on the way down. So anyways, long story short, I had to take off this cross member, and I wanted to make a video about it because it's I was a little bit hesitant to do it because I didn't want to have to take all of these off, all of the engine guards. So this is how you do it. This is connected on both sides, and also it's a key point to make sure this is down in the middle, this little dip here. The previous owner actually had this installed upside down, and it was rubbing on the bottom of the shock here. So just make sure this is down whenever you're reinstalling it. But there's 3 screws in this area. So there's one that connects the crossbar to these 2 bars, and then there's 1 screw in the bottom here. And then also, this one's pretty hard to get to, and I hope you can see it back in there, but my finger is on one way back in there. You'll have to use a longer socket or a longer extension to get you back there. So one here, and one deep back in there. And then down here on the bottom, I was a little bit confused because it looks like there's 2 mounts here, but actually it's not mounted here. You don't need to take this screw out in here. It's just to support there. So there's 1 screw back in here. You take that out, and then this whole piece slides off. It slides completely off this way, and you don't have to remove this. It just kind of hangs from these mounts up here. But that will allow you to get this out. So you can slide that out. It's a little bit hard because it's actually not perfectly circular. It's got a flat edge on it, so it's like one flat edge and circular the rest of the way around. So once you get these off here, you'll be able to remove this center piece, and then you'll be able to remove the black piece. If you happen to have the O-lens fork, it makes it a little longer. So what I had to do was to get someone to sit on the bike, and then that compresses enough to where the black alternator cover is easily slid past the shock here. If not, the top of it gets hung up on the shock. But with someone sitting on it, it's plenty enough weight and compression to let you move the alternator belt cover right past it. So also while I was doing this, I removed the exhaust. This is a replacement exhaust. My last one was really pitted out. You can see in my other video that I'll link in the description that the exhaust was in pretty bad shape. This one came off of a used bike, but it's in much better shape. There's an O2 sensor on this side and an O2 sensor on the other side. Those were pretty easy to remove. But while I had the exhaust off, I went ahead and used a wire wheel to sand this down a little bit. Got some of the old paint off of there and sprayed it with a couple of clear coats of spray paint, which I'm hoping will prevent it from peeling too much in the future. I know it didn't look fantastic, but it'll protect it a little bit. I didn't really remove the bolts or anything. I just clear coated everything. I taped off here, taped off the bottom, and sprayed it without the cover on there. So we'll see how that holds up, but I just wanted to make a little video to show you how to remove all this. I'd never done that, and I couldn't really find a video about it, so there we go.